Amanda Seales was on Club Shay Shay this week, man. Did y'all see the interview?
Man, everybody seen that interview.
I don't think
All right,
everybody saw it, but yeah.
What do y'all think? What y'all think?
Man, it was okay. I ain't got
It was okay till they started talking about like her childhood and Shannon put in his 2 cents on her experience, and then he forgot that she was there to give her experience, and she had to remind that nigga, like, yeah, you asked me for my experience, right? And the nigga like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I thought it was all right. Not the best one.
You think he was wrong in that by asking or interjecting in there, like, you know, hey, here's another way to think about what happened to you?
Well, what I feel like what he was trying to do was trying to make her situation not seem as big as it was, but it was to her. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I mean, sometimes as men, we can push people, I guess. I don't know if he was trying to get like a wrong answer or an aha moment or something like that, but I think he just pushed too hard. Like, she was just trying to explain her experience, and he didn't really give her a chance to do that. Like, he was just saying, he was being combative at that moment. She was just telling him, like, the teacher was racist or whatever the situation was at the time. So, I don't know. I felt like it was good until that point.
What about after that point?
After that point, it was kind of weird after that, because it's just like, damn, that shit happened, and it's just like, that was kind of like the biggest blunt of the interview right there. Like,
you feel like that messed up the vibe of the...
I felt like that messed up the vibe, because when she did like this...
Okay, yeah, y'all watched it. I listened to it.
Yeah, when she did like this, I already know. Like, usually when a woman does this, the conversations, the conversation not going the way she wants it.
I mean, I felt like it picked up after that. I felt like they did have that little bit of tension at that spot. I mean, I'm on Shannon's side a little bit, because I feel like I'm that type of person too. I'm always going to say, did you consider this? I'm not saying that what she's saying is false, but I'm just asking, did you go straight for this? Did she go straight for it's racist, or did she consider maybe they are just kids? But that, I don't think he was trying to. I mean, people said he was trying to make her situation, you know, what she experienced, not what she experienced. I guess like a form of gaslighting a little bit. Yeah. But I don't agree.
I gotta agree with Shannon though, because I'm from that same country he from.
Africa?
No. Okay. and he's right. Usually, when it comes to checking an adult, nigga, you better do that shit under your breath, because, nigga, you can't. Yeah. Usually, I mean, yeah, it's never been a point where you could check an adult as a kid, bro. I've never grew up like that. Like, but still, though, that doesn't push away from her point what she was trying to do.
And then she asked him, does that sound racist to you? And then he gave his response.
Well, that was this. Okay, and if I heard this wrong, I heard this wrong. That was after the teacher thing. She was given another experience and then said, does that sound racist? When she talking about the kids?
Yeah.
Then she asked him. But she did that to be an asshole.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the teacher thing, which I don't really think was the big precipice of the whole interview. I do think it was a point of the interview that made it kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because she got mad defensive. I didn't hear it that way. I heard her talking, and then I heard him interject. I don't know his point for interjecting, because like you said, you did ask her to start her story, so she starts her story. So I guess he was interjecting to get some banter. Now, Shannon Sharpe, if I'm mistaken, he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Somewhere. And he is from Texas. He's from the country in Texas. He grew up in a shack, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows about firsthand racism, would be somebody that old from that time period where states still weren't fully desegregated. So he was poor. One of the things she wanted to point out to Shannon was, I'm a scholar of race. So if you're a scholar of race, you're trained to see racism in the light that a person like somebody else wouldn't see it. I know I've had conversations with you sometimes. I'd be like, bro, that shit racist. You're like, man, you ain't even think about it like that.
Right.
So what I'm saying that is, she's trained to see the racism that nobody can see, because sometimes things are ingrained in us from the things we watch and the way we're programmed and wired as American citizens. We just by nature can be prejudiced and racist and don't even realize it. So when Shannon is speaking to her and interjecting, she is telling him that it's racist because she's educated enough to know that I'm probably being handled this way back then because my teacher was white and I was a black student. But that doesn't negate what Shannon is saying and what you're saying. I'm from that same South. It didn't matter if I was black or white. If I'm correcting an adult, I'm going to get treated the same. Now, me being a black student correcting a white teacher might have some extra oomph on it, but I'm still going to get treated the same way as a white kid when it comes to correcting an adult. Like, you got to know your place in society.
Yeah.
And then when she talked about her background, her household, then you kind of see she was given the freedom to speak as a child in her household. Not every kid get that freedom to say, Mom, that ain't right. Dad, that ain't right. Or challenge their parents. We don't start challenging our parents to our teenage years. So you challenging people young. So you kind of, her view on things was a little bit different. So when it came to that, I didn't see Shannon trying to be like combative. I felt like she was being combative, honestly. But I felt like she also made the point that, hey, you asked me, I'm telling you. So, and apparently since she's deeming this to be a racist act, she's also probably sensitive about it.
Right.
So I guess when he interjected, I feel like he didn't mean no harm, but he caused harm because she's triggered by that happening later on in life.
Because she's already feeling like she hasn't, in that moment, she was not listened to or she was struggling to be heard.
Yeah. And
so
she already feels that way.
She's trying to explain something, so then you're proving like now you're not listening.
Mm-hmm.
But in the defense of Shannon, that is his interviewing style of interjecting, creating the banner, steering the conversation to curate, not just sound bites, but more conversation outside of the strategic interview questions. Mm-hmm. That is just how he interviews. And so it was one of those things where, you sat down with this person. You sat down on his platform to have a conversation, and you may have had to correct it. And I understand how she took it sensitively, or she may have been sensitive to it. She could have took it as disrespect. But it was one of those things where I don't care for this automatically building a narrative around Shannon Sharpe being dense or he's not smart enough or whatever. I don't think any part of this interview states that he's dumber than Amanda Seales or she's smarter. They are both who they are. That man is successful in his own realm just as much as she's successful in her own realm. I think, like you said, she was triggered by having to recall a situation that bothered her. And with him simply asking a question, it came off as he was challenging what her perception was or what her perspective was about the situation. And that it just kind of spiraled. But I too think, similar to James, that it was kind of a spot where the vibe changed a little bit. I didn't watch it. I did listen to it. Mm-hmm. But I think, although it carried forward, there was kind of a shift.
Did y'all like her before this interview? Or did y'all... Because I know some people don't like her at all.
I mean,
they've heard bad things.
Nothing. I guess it changed a little bit for me. I guess it took her... To me, I felt like she warmed up as the interview went on. Mm-hmm. And they kind of started to understand each other. That's why they were shaking hands and hugging and stuff in between the interview. Mm-hmm. But I kind of... Her personality, I don't really get along with people like that. Because I always feel like they always feel like someone's coming for them. Mm-hmm. When that's not the case. But, I mean, I've met people like that before, where they just always feel like you can make a joke or something, and you could just be playing, but they're going to take it serious.
It turns into a dissertation.
Yeah, and they're gonna read you about a whole bunch of stuff and why what you saying is wrong. It's like, bro, I was just joking. First of all, I know if I was serious, I can see why I would be wrong, but I'm just joking.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Oh, you ain't on me?
Yeah, did you?
Oh. Nah, I've been accused of that, though. I've been accused of somebody joking, and I took it the wrong way. But it was just under a certain circumstance. I had to tell you about it later. But it was cool. It's just, I don't know. It's just, you have to be, because sometimes you could tell a joke, and it might be offensive to that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me expand one time. Like,
hold on. I want him to answer the other question. Did you already have a preconceived notion about Amanda before the interview?
Oh, I knew. I found her out through
Insecure.
Yes. that's where I first figured out who she was, like
Right.
her acting skills or whatever. I didn't really know her before that.
Okay, so this helped paint a better picture of who
Yeah,
she.
yeah.
All right.
But even with when she explained the insecure situation, I just don't understand, like, why are you always in the middle of something? Like, why are you always the one that's getting...
I think her personality is just really, really big. Like, she wears that. Like, she gonna wear that.
I got you. I mean, I guess I understand that part, but I just don't... You can't, like, I don't know. Somebody said it in a comment and it made sense. It was like, if you keep smelling shit, look at your own shoe.
But I guess what about her story about the insecure situation implements her as the person that was...
But
wrong?
why is it always her? Like, why is she always someone has it out for her in every one of those situations?
I don't... So do you feel like she painted the picture, and when you listen to the interview, did you get that I'm Amanda, I'm a victim? That's how... Is that how you were hearing the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, a lot of times, like, maybe you do have a bad attitude. If you telling me 4 different stories, and each story people are saying that they don't fuck with you because of your attitude.
And I guess I didn't hear it that way. I heard her just telling a story. Like, she was saying, this is what happened. And as she said what was happening, I kind of was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like with the DJ, with the interview thing with the DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel like she was being a victim for getting kicked off the show. She said what happened. And just from what she was saying, it sounded like the dude had control issues. She was trying to elevate, and he didn't want her to elevate. He wanted to elevate himself, and he didn't want anything going through that radio station without his approval, and he had it out for her. Now, why he had it out for her, I couldn't get that from the story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I did get from the story was a lot about him, but it didn't make her look like... none of those stories made her look like a victim. They just were stories where I could see her side, kind of.
Right.
Like,
well, she also
I
is
see
telling
that.
the story from
I was
her
about to
perspective.
say that's how she painted it.
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's talk to these other people. Let's talk to Issa Rae's assistant. Let's talk to the guy from her school that she said threatened to get her, trying to ruin her career.
Let's
talk
talk
to
to
the
Issa.
DJ. You know, like, I don't know.
I put it to you like this. When she tells the Issa story, she talks about how the story that was printed... First of all, the story she told was the same as I heard it before, because this is not the first time this story got told. That story been told before, and she said it the exact same way. When she tells the Issa story, when she starts off with the Emmys party, her going to the Emmys party, I don't feel like somebody who people don't like has 4 people that say, you should be in this party, let me try to get you in. Because if I'm passing the
But
nigga...
that's, again, her story.
Yes, this is all we have, though. We don't have anything else. So if... Just according to her story, if that's the case, then if I have at least 4 people that fuck with me trying to get me in, it just sounds weird that, you know what I'm saying, like, this one person don't like you to the point where they sick. Like, what did you do to the point where they sicked men guards to get you out of a party? Were you gonna come to the party and shoot the bitch up? Because if you're not that much of a threat, if you're not a violent threat to a party, then outside of my ego, why am I having you removed in that manner? So it says a lot of... That story has some type of truth to it, and I would love to hear the other side, but the one truth we can't deny is a woman sent tight end sized niggas to get rid of a 5'4" girl at a party when she really could have just said, you know what, fuck it, she here, let's rock.
Yeah, she probably could have
Her
said
name
that.
is on the list. You know what I'm saying?
Again, but I gotta hear the other side of the story.
But
every time when it's always a situation and that person's in the middle of it, it's something else going on.
Even if she's the trouble, that's not the result she should get. Like, let's say,
that's true.
Let's
That's
say
true.
Amanda is the problem.
Yeah,
let's
that's
just
true.
say that. I'm not sicking them niggas on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you not that much of a problem. You don't got no guns on you. You coming to the problem party. It's probably a huge party. You'll be over there. I'll be over here. I'm good. Fuck it. She got in.
No, man. Girl, I light this bitch up.
And then, hey, that's an even better news story. But then when she goes back to work and Issa say, y'all figure it out, I don't know. Per her story, I don't like the way Issa handled it. That's just per her story. And then the girl never told her why she didn't like her. Per her story, I would like to know why you didn't like me, but she also shut it down. I was like, oh, you're not going to tell me? Cool, I'm not going to sweat it. So I don't know.
Well, she said the girl asked, don't you want to know why? And she said no.
Oh, okay. Thank you for correcting me.
Oh, no, you straight.
No, I'm just saying, like, the way she told it, it was like, why would I want to know why? Like, you don't like me, so
the why doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to, like, me, if you tell me you don't like me and then turn around and ask me, like, you don't want to know why I don't like you? Like, nigga, you a grown-ass man. Tell me why.
You should have said, I don't like you.
I'm not about to
XYZ.
beg you to tell me why you don't like me. Fuck you.
That's very childish.
That's crazy.
I don't like you.
Hey, it just sounds crazy. But I see people still felt the same way you felt, Johnny. They felt like she played the victim. They felt like, you know, they still don't like her in Hollywood. So, but right. I didn't. I'm like James. I err on the side of James because I seen her on My Brother and Me. I seen her on this, and then I read all the stories saying she's a bad person. But this interview for me kind of made her look better.
I think just made she has to. I would like for her to start doing more interviews on other platforms or just having the opportunity, because I don't see her as a bad person. I actually listened to her podcast, Small Doses. I've listened to for a while, and I still struggle sometimes taking her in. She is
a hard pill to swallow.
She's a lot of personality, and sometimes the things that she's saying, it comes with a lot of, you know, raw and graw behind it, and it's like, why is that necessary? Why as smart as she is, she does not have to prove to me any further that she holds a doctorate of XYZ, or that she's smart. That, like, I see that, I know that. I don't need any more of that to be presented. I don't need the cape to be on. I would like to see more of her. Like, I don't understand why she's kind of been, you know, thrown, cast aside when it comes to Hollywood. I think she's a good actress.
She hit us with the Monique.
She's pretty good.
She hit us with the Monique.
She should have, yeah.
I'm hard to work with. They say I'm hard to work with.
I think she needs to. I would like to see more opportunity for her, not just to speak, but to act, to just be who she is.
And I think what Johnny is saying, I like that point you're giving. Because when Monique was on Club Shay Shay, I seen why she was hard to work with. I heard why she was hard to work with. I just couldn't get that from a man. I didn't. Either she's so smart, she painted a picture to make her look so great, or Monique is just that bad of a human that even in telling your side, I'm like, damn, nigga, like, I don't want to work with you either personally. Just listening to you talk to Shannon, I don't want to, like, if I'm Shannon, I want to end this interview as soon as possible. Like, you get on my nerves. Damn. So it's like, you know.
But she's definitely talented for sure. And I think that's why she gets a lot of opportunities.
Who, Amanda?
Yeah, opportunities that she does have. Because even she said she was working with Issa. She had a little side. I never seen it. She said she had a show, YouTube series with Issa. And she's been on Nickelodeon. She's been in a lot of places.
Yeah. So.
Published author. She got a lot going on.